solution is simple. Leave. Quit your job. We'll bring somebody else in that can handle it. Thank you.
Thank you, Robert. Ms. Vanessa McAfee. Hello, Ms. Vanessa. It's good to see you again. Name and address for the record, ma'am.
No. Where's my timer? I don't want to. I'm running it over here. Oh, okay. That's okay. All right. Hello, my name is Vanessa. And I'm here, Miss Holly, welcome. I wish you the very best of luck. I wish you luck. Okay, so my name is Vanessa. I've been going door to door with Haley to collect recall signatures to recall Joseph Lowry. The first thing I wanted to say is one thing that I'm learning from the voters. The first thing I wanted to say. Good, I'm good. I need to say I reclaim my time or something. Is the vegetation on the power lines. I know that that is not something that's related, a city issue, but these residents need some help communicating with the power companies. I don't know if that's in every district, but in District C, there is a problem there. I will say that there is no complaints of water pressure, which I was pleasantly surprised to hear that. So, okay, I got a lot to say, so let me hurry up. I don't want to mess up my time. Okay, we've had some more updates on the recall. We had 5 people who initially signed. They don't want to sign because they fear retaliation or they got some sort of indirect message, which is a complete shame that a resident in someone's district has to fear retaliation from an elected official. I'd also like to thank the council for coordinating the recent meeting between the EDC to discuss the COVID grants. An elected official's primary responsibility is to oversee how tax dollars are being spent. Lowry applied for a grant and was awarded 2 $25,000 grants, a total of $50,000 in tax dollars, based on his application stated his business is in Lamarque. That's not the case. We know it's not in Lamarque. The other thing is, Ms. Holly, this is to you. I encourage you to investigate police Aragon's background. His conduct alone before he got here was enough reason not to get him here. Plus him being in alignment with Councilman Lowry only adds to the concerns. The police chief and Councilman Lowry launched a witch hunt against JB over an HR issue on an application, treating it like it was a violent crime, while both of them have serious issues with their own applications. Chief Aragon claimed he had a current peace officer's license on his application. He did not. He had not been working as a police officer for over 6 years. This is not, we just transferred from one to the state to another. We can't be saying that no more. It's not the truth. Councilman Lowry stated he'd never been convicted of a felony. He has, and there's 2 of them. Have you been convicted of a felony? And there's another little box you can check that says asking about a felony and then gives you an opportunity to explain some stuff. Okay, so we know the drug cases were vacated because of the Blake decision. But there's also a felony conviction floating around there that's from 1997. I'd like to know more about. Is my time up?
30 seconds.
30 seconds?
20
Okay,
seconds.
let's see what else. And the police, they deserve, it's such a shame that the good police, the ones that aren't causing all the trouble and they're just trying to do their job, that they have to be reflected in a negative way because of all this corruption that Aragon brought back to League City and how he conspires with Lowry to create chaos. I want to know why the Lamarque PD is not being enthusiastic about Lowry's application and Aragon's application, and they were so excited about JB's application. Compion, maybe you can help us dig into that. Have a great evening.
Thank you, Ms. McAfee. Robert Mitchitich. Welcome, Robert. Name and address for the record, please.
Robert Ch.16, 24 North Curlew.
Can you give me 1 second?
Always give my address and everything.
Can you give me,
Welcome to our interim city
Robert,
manager.
Robert, hold on
can you
just a
give me
minute.
1
Hold on
second? I'm
just a
trying
minute.
to.
They're trying to see if they can get the clock working.
I don't want to make you wait. Go ahead.
So let's do this, Robert.
I got a time.
Okay, and she's gonna raise her hand when it's 30 seconds.
Welcome again to our new city manager. I hope you can straighten out that budget. I heard your comments on the first day of meeting last Monday. It's a horrible budget to even submit. Looking at it, you got a general fund that you're gonna spend down. It was projected in the presented budget to spend it down to $118,000 for next year. That's where your reserve fund is. And if you've got a reserve fund stuck away somewhere else, it's nowhere in that budget. You can't take it out of cap. That is, that first line, that is your reserve. And that's just horribly the way you can't manage doing that. Now, one other thing, I will be turning in 2 ethics complaints. One against one councilwoman for unauthorized travel of several thousands of dollars. And it's not even city related business. It will all be explained and emailed to each of you. The other one is against our city clerk for the willful disobedience of not fulfilling open records requests for many of them. And the most recent one related to this is over 2 months old. It's unacceptable. Budget, let's look at another thing about budget. Raising taxes in order to make up for a shortfall or unencumbered spending, this out of control spending. That's not acceptable either. And to use, and what I view, and I'm on that commission for the PD building, and we need a PD building. But 2 months ago, the cost of that was projected at being $9 million. We come in for a special meeting, it gets dropped on the committee, never saw anything about it, the site plan and everything, and then it bumped up to 17 million. Last Monday, Mayor said 17.5 million. On your presented budget, it shows 13 million. But then again tonight, in which we will talk about in the public section, it's back to 17.5 million. There is no way that building would be that expensive.
30
It
seconds.
should be RFI'd, a request for inquiry and pricing by the city, not an engineering firm. And let's get it through a construction engineer and let's price this out, and then we know what we're asking. But putting it on a ballot right now is an excuse to raise our taxes, knowing that in this environment right now, it's going to fail. And that is an injustice to our police. Thank you.
Thank you, Robert. Ms. Haley Winkleman. Welcome, Ms. Haley. No Ellie today, huh? All right.
Choose now. So hi, I'm Haley. Not gonna give my address, but I do live here inside Agitator. Hi, Miss Holly. Welcome. I'm really glad you're here. Your experience in urban planning is going to be so helpful. I'm looking forward to us continuing to be proactive and see results. Being reactive has led us to the ditches not being regraded in my neighborhood for 12 years. It's led to a pile of debris sitting on curbs for months. A great example of that is the pile of debris across the street from the Lowry's house, right off Cedar and Lake, main roads in the community. This is one among many examples of Lowry not doing his job. Budget meetings, critical community scheduling meetings. He has nothing to contribute. He is late appointing to boards and committees. He even tried to take credit for the pothole on Lake, saying he didn't know who to contact to get a pothole fixed. Y'all, I do. He accepted that $50,000 in grants he didn't qualify for too. We're collecting the last few signatures this week. I'll be outside for the next few minutes if you'd like to sign. The budget, I'm at a loss. I see how it happened, but this is a perfect example of why hiring educated candidates matters. Things like budgets and deadlines are learned in college. This is a failure of every department head who did not ask, where is a budget? You know you need one every year. Doing a wish list but not following up on the figures is also unacceptable. All I'll say is the firefighters need more blue reflectors and the police department needs more business cards. If y'all could go ahead and include that in that budget, I would appreciate it. as citizens, we're held accountable. But for some reason, the people in this room don't want to be held to the same standards. Curbing freedom of speech during public comment because someone can dish it but can't take it. His wife can dish it but can't take it. Outside agitators are coming in. Well, don't be a vile, hateful, threatening person online and people won't come see you in person. I know many of us have other things to do on Mondays at 6 p.m. than come up here to complain about the same thing. Don't call the fire department when you keep lighting the fire. No one comes here from other communities to talk about Ms. Griffin or Mayor Bill's social media conduct. This is just another tactic to try to not be held accountable for yourself. It is an attempt at manipulation, a grab for coercive control. The rest of us will not fall for it. Ms. Holly, the lack of accountability is a very big theme around here. We've got Mr. Aragon and his application, lying to T. Cole. We've got the
Is that time?
$50,000 in grants, and we've got the fraudulent counsel application. If you could look into those things, I would appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Point of information.
That point of information is a question, Mr. Lowry. What are you asking? What are you trying to refute?
It's not a question, it's a statement. I
What,
have,
Mr. Lowry, what are you trying to refute?
I'll pass because I see where you're going with this. So I'll get in touch with you after the meeting.
Mr. Rashard Loftus. Welcome, Mr. Rashard Loftus. Name and address for the record.
Short Loftus, proud citizen of Lamar. I came here a while back to ask you all to focus on the business that y'all was elected to do. And I'm gonna ask you again, all of y'all, because I'm really fed up with the bullshit. I'm really fed up. Piles of limbs out here. Everybody say the same thing about the limbs, the trash, all of that stuff that y'all discussed in budget meetings so far. Code enforcement. Public Works need money. They need equipment. We need staff that's gonna stay around for a while, not get run off. And the only way that's gonna happen is if the bullshit stops. Elections come around and there's consequences. Just think about that.
Thank you, Mr. Loftus. One more time, anyone online? Very good. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for your comments. I'll move to item 6. Minutes of the meeting. Special joint City Council Economic Development, 6-1 of 7/8/2025. 6-2 Special City Council Budget Minutes of 8/5/2025. I will entertain a motion.
Make a motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any corrections, omissions, or additions? Hearing none, we'll call for the vote. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Item 7, comments from the public. This is different from a public hearing. Public hearing is not required to move forward on a general obligation bond. But the council has sought fit that we might allow for additional comments as it relates to the general obligation bond. And so I will read that and we will allow for comments. Item 7-1, ordinance number letter O-2025-0015, calling a bond election to be held November 4th, 2025, with the city making provisions for conduct of the election and other provisions relating thereto. This was the idea of the city clerk to have this, and we agreed with her as a council. Now, if you are seeking to speak to item 7-1, raise your hand if you will. I see Mr. Mistich. Anyone else in this room seeking to speak to item 7-1? Very good. Any persons online wishing to speak to item 7-1? Mr. Mistich, you may approach we will give you, the floor. This is not a public hearing, and so we'll give you an additional 3 minutes and see how far we get.
Mayor, council. We have not had another meeting by this committee since the last one, that was the special counsel one before you guys, in which it was dropped on us about 17 million. We do not even have the location secured for this building. We don't know whether there's going to be additional land costs. We don't know. But at $17.5 million, when it jumps from 9 million and we're questioning 9 million, we can't answer for that. And yet you want to place this on a ballot. And $17.5 million from what the bond council said, it's over limit. You will have to raise the tax rate in order to do it. And that's all I see on this. We asked at that meeting for a redesign of plans to include some modular buildings that Councilman Compion even suggested. That has not been done. None of that. So how can we put a price tag on it? And where does this engineering company just come up with this? And that engineering company after that meeting had the audacity to tell me that it doesn't matter about where it's going to go or what your land is. Just get the money. How do you do that? That's wrong. No one is going to vote for this, but you will have raised the tax rate. I am against this. I am against putting out a bond at this point in time. I so desperately want a new police station and we've needed it a long time, but it's been delay after delay. Meetings have been canceled. Meetings that we showed up for, the people weren't there that we had asked to come. This is not the way to do it. And we still don't have a revised plan that we asked for in order to review it. So if you're not going to do this for a committee, why even have a committee? Why not just make it up yourself? Because that's what it appears to be. Thank you.
Thank you, Robert. We have bond counsel here. I want to get drill down on, Robert said a lot of things and certainly that's his right to, but the idea of an increased tax rate, you shared with us something differently about the tax rate at $17.5 million. And we need you to come to the microphone.
Mayor, members of council, Jonathan Frells, I'm with Bracewell. We serve as your bond counsel. So first thing I would say is in connection with a bond election, you levy the tax only when you issue the bonds, right? So having the election and gaining the authorization for the issuance of the bonds does not allow you to levy the tax at that time. It is only when you come back and take action as a council at the time that you issue the debt that you're going to be levying the tax for that particular debt. So if you were to go out and this were to be approved to the voters, there's no tax impact immediately from that. It's only after you issue the debt. So in connection with the actual issuance process, you adopt an ordinance authorizing the issuance of the bonds. And in that ordinance, that's when you levy the tax at that time.
Here's the question I think that Mr. Mischich brought that we're bringing to you. When you went over those numbers with us initially, you said if we held at a 39-cent tax rate, not a tax rate increase, but if we held at a 39-cent tax rate, is that where the $17.5 million came from?
So I think you're talking about your financial advisor rather than bond counsel. So we represent you guys on the legal aspects of the issuance of debt. So Stiefel is y'all's financial advisor. So I can't speak to the financial analysis that they did in connection with the impact on the tax rate. I know that they looked at the $17.5 million item in the item that we've got on the agenda. Today, you have to put a voter information document together in connection with that. And with the assumptions in that voter information document, there was a potential tax impact on $100,000 home of $1.06 per year was the potential impact from the issuance of that, according to that voter information document. But I could not speak to the actual tax rate analysis that they ran for you guys. I'd have to defer that to your financial advisor.
Ms. Nance, could you research that? I believe that should be a matter of record in your minutes. Thank you. Go ahead, Joe.
Just to be, excuse me, Mr. Frail, come on back up, please.
Well, and I would remind council, we do have a separate item on this.
Well, okay, that's
discuss
what,
it.
that's what,
You want
I wanted-
you want to do it?
are we doing, this is
Well-
still a continuation of the public comment?
Yes.
Oh, okay, well,
You
I'll
wanna
wait
wait?
till the, I'll wait till.
Yes,
Yeah. Okay. Any other persons wishing to speak during public comment? Mr. Loftus? Same rules apply. We're going to give you 3 minutes, an additional 3 minutes to speak to the item 710.
So, pertaining to the station, I'm all for a new station, but the public needs to know before a vote where it's gonna be and the actual numbers, what it's gonna be. Cause I have to agree with what was said, that you can't ask somebody to vote on something when you don't know the actual cost and you don't know where it's gonna be. And me personally, I'm totally against any station that's gonna move from here and take it away on the west side, because that's gonna take away from citizens that live over here in Old Lamarck, the response time for PD having to come from way over there. So we need to figure out some kind of middle grounds here. And I know the discussion has been had with possibly purchasing our land from TCISD. Notice I said our land, because if that's the case, you know, that land was once owned by the citizens of Lamarck. And I still got a real bad heartburn about that issue right there, because they want to sell us our land back. And we've already given them $300,000, if I'm not mistaken. So I got a problem with that as well, if we buying the land back. That's how I feel about that.
Thank you, Mr. Loftus. One more time, anyone else? Very good. Mr. Mistich, Mr. Loftus, thank you for your comments. We will certainly consider those. And we will, you will hear our discussion when we get to that line item. Move now to item 8, old business. Items presented to council for discussion and possible action. 8.1, ordinance number letter O-2025-0014, approving the project plan and reinvestment zone financing plan for tax increment reinvestment zone number 2 in the city of Lamarck, Texas, providing an effective date and making provisions related to the subject. The city clerk and tourist board number 2. I see members of the tourist board. Hello again. Ms. Nance, please tell me that this is ready this time.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you, Jesus. I will entertain a motion.
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
You second it?
Yeah.
Let's discuss. Where shall we begin? Who wants to start out?
I have
Go ahead,
questions.
Josh. Go ahead.
And maybe the TERS board people are the ones that, I see the president here.
Doug, would you approach, please? Good to see you again, Doug. I think you might be the person that might be able to represent.
There are
Come on,
12
Al.
of them
Oh,
here.
okay, well,
Yeah.
All of the committee can come if you like. Doesn't matter.
on these matters, I like simplicity, right? And I think all of us probably need to understand as simply as possible what's been going on with regard to both the initial development of Omega Bay. My dad and uncles built some houses out there, so kind of know a little bit of history out there. And but the fact is that we all understand that a lot of the infrastructure of Omega Bay was owned or is owned by the HOA, correct?
That's correct.
Yeah, correct. And over time, with the development of the many homes out there, There's been added value in terms of the taxable value of the land. And then also there's been an impact upon the street infrastructure out there at Omega Bay. Would that be accurate?
That's correct.
Okay. And then we have then this creation of the TERS. And TERS is a tax increment reinvestment zone. It's we've here in the city of Lamarck, help me out, Gus, but this would be what, our second or third?
This is your second one.
The second one, as I recall, the second one. The other one being on over on the west side, as I recall?
I don't know where. the
I
first
kind
one
of
is.
think there was one on the west side, but regardless. So this tax increment reinvestment zone is taking the added value tax income and making it available to deal with some of the infrastructure. That's your mission. That's your mission of the TERS on that side. Now, your number one goal as the TERS board members, and if I say anything, stop me, right? If I'm saying it incorrectly, is you have an opportunity as this TERS board to help repair the infrastructure out there at Omega Bay. Correct? On that side. And then part of this, and that's the reason for this particular effort, and that's why it's here before council. You guys have put in a lot of time in this effort. And ultimately, it comes down to the big issue is that if we're going to use public money cannot be used for a private citizen or a private entity. And so that really comes down to accessibility of the roads. If you're going to use it for the roads there to reconstruct them, that there must be accessibility to the public. In this case, and Gus, you'll intercede as necessary, but in this case, the TERS is not asking for ownership of the roads. The TERS is seeking ultimately in the document that I read, seeking to negotiate, would that be appropriate to say that, Gus? Negotiate a right-of-way agreement with whom? The HOA?
The owner of the roads,
The owner
whoever
of the
that
roads,
is.
which happens to be, I think, the HOA, the homeowners association in that case. And so that's if this is approved and passes, that would then be the next step in this process. You guys would then take it back and engage in discussions with the HOA to see how that could be accomplished. I think, and I've heard from Mr. Mitchell as well, and you guys, you all seem to be in agreement, or at least what I've heard, that the road does need to be repaired out there. If not, also perhaps expanded a little bit. I don't even know if that's a possibility or not, but the road that, particularly the one that goes around the property, needs to be expanded, or needs to be repaired or replaced, or whatever needs to be done there needs to be done. And that's true.
Well, if I might.
Please, next to the mic.
In our document, in our first document, it actually calls for a complete reconstruction of the roads.
Okay,
And it's been priced at that in there, and I think it's like 6.5 million.
yeah, I think that's what it says here, yes.
So that's the ultimate goal.
And when you say the roads, it's not just the exterior road, it's all the other roads as well in Omega Bay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And some people might say, well, Lamarck, you guys should do that. Well, it's not owned by the city of Lamarck. When this developed, it all was ownership by a private developer out there, and it has remained that way. So if we are going to be supportive of this, we as members of council, we're saying and we're acknowledging to Omega Bay residents that we share your concern for the current state of the roads. We also understand that there's a mechanism here that will permit you to get the repairs of the road or reconstruction of the roads done in your community, as long as the details are then, as a next step, if this passes today, as a next step, the details with the current owners of the road, whatever entity that may be, that's your next step in this process. Am I accurate in saying that?
Pretty much. I mean,
Yes.
this thing today is just a plan.
Yes.
It's not an action. It's not, we are giving the roads over. It's just, this is the design that has been developed for us to move forward and trying to utilize TERS money to rebuild our roads.
And having said that, and maybe, I don't think he's been involved in it, Mr. Frails, but just in general, from what I've heard in the past on these discussions, there's not necessarily a time frame for this to happen, is there?
The TERS is for 30 years.
Well, I know the TERS is, but
Right.
in terms of working out all these details, Gus, is there a time frame for that?
Well,
Oh, price of money.
yeah, the price of money,
Price of money, that is
Yeah.
a factor there.
the price of money and the price to do it.
The price,
to do
yeah,
the work.
those are factors there on that side.
Yeah, our general understanding of it is, I mean, if we have X amount of dollars, we could put 10 foot out, but
Yes.
that's not a real feasible deal to do
Mhm.
in the grand scheme of things.
Okay.
So yes, like Gus stated, it's a 30-year term on the TERS.
On the
And
TERS.
hopefully, as money increases, we'll have that to be able to do sections, whatever comes available.
As the values.
But at this time, alls we're wanting right here is, this is just a plan. And those are the next steps further down. Until the plan is approved, we can't really go forward with communications with the HOA and figuring out how to make the streets public and expenditures.
And final question, the TERS board unanimously supports this effort.
Yes.
Yeah, all right, that's all. Thanks.
So, yeah, anyone else?
And for the record, this doesn't, the roads cannot be gifted to the city or anything like that without voter approval from the HOA, correct?
I can speak to that. Whoever owns, as part of this, the city, ultimately, the owner of the road, it is on them to get the roads to us. However they do that, and whatever internal processes they have, is on them. And I mean, unless y'all are representatives of the HOA, I don't know if they can speak to that.
No, we're citizens.
Yeah, just to clarify, Gus, you said something that kind of, my little red flag went up when you said, give the roads to us. Just to be clear, in working out a relationship, it could be the right to an easement.
It could be a right-of-way easement, a
right-of-way.
perpetual right-of-way easement. That's
Perpetual
fine.
right away, as opposed to some sort of giving. And I think that's what I read in the documents.
Yes, it doesn't have to be a fee. It doesn't have to be fee title to the land. It could be a perpetual right-of-way easement.
Yes, sir.
Any more questions for the representatives of the TERS? Omega Bank. And did you all have any further comments that you'd like to make?
I think Al like to make a brief statement.
Mainly, I just wanted to say thank you for your support, your past and current, hopefully future support of the Zone 2 TERS board. We've been in place since 2019. There's been some disconnect, but I think we've connected today, and hopefully we're going to move forward with your help. We appreciate your time and
Thank
your
you, sir.
support. Thank you.
We appreciate your patience in this matter. We endeavor to try to get it right, especially when it comes to a TERS. And so it took us a few moments, but here we are. What a wonderful Monday to make this and take this action. Thank you, gentlemen. And the rest of your board who's always here supportive. Thank you for attending and for being a part of this decision. There are no further comments. I believe, Ms. Nance, we have a motion and a second on the floor. Let's move to a vote. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? There it is. 8-2. Employee handbook, reviewing the current employee handbook that is utilized by the city of Lamarque. This is coming to us from the Human Resources. Ms. I'm sorry. What did I do wrong?
No,
No, you didn't. Early, this was actually originally requested by Mayor Pro Tem. I know we postponed this from the last meeting. He asked us to postpone it again. So for
yeah,
additional
because
time.
I haven't, with the budget and stuff, I haven't had a chance to.
Absolutely, no
Sure.
problem, my friend. Let's move past that. Thank you for your candor, Mayor Pro Tem. Let's now move to item A3, boards and commission appointments, appointing, reappointing, and removing members of boards, commissions, and committees. Ms. Nance, do we have, would you list the openings for us
Sure, give me 1 second.
by district, please? Doesn't have to be a slow process. You can just catch us up, if you will.
Yes, give me just 1 second. You caught me a little off guard. Thank you. Okay, so mayor's position has an appointment to the cemetery board and the special events committee. District A has a parks board position available. District B has a Keep Lamarck Beautiful alternate position available. District C has a few appointments, Board of Adjustments, Building Standards, Cemetery, Planning and Zoning, and Ordinance Review. Some of those, 3 of those are up for, are expiring, yes. And then District D actually does not have any to make at this time.
Very good.
The only, Mr. Ost, was it the ordinance review you resigned from? And so I thought we said that board was all full and he was the alternate.
I get it.
He has a position,
Oh,
a
okay.
seat open.
Yeah, that's gonna be.
Yeah,
Okay.
just, can you say it in the mic so that
Yeah,
the
and
rest
I'm
of
gonna
them-
make an appointment.
Yeah, we're gonna
Okay.
get ready. So did everybody get?
I am so sorry. Mayor has one more, has a building standards position open because Miss Sally Austin is no longer.
Oh,
on
Miss
that board.
Sally. We are gonna miss Miss Sally. All right, who wants to go first? You have a lot over there, Mr. Lowry. You wanna start?
Laura Devine for the ordinance review.
Laura Devine for the ordinance
Yes,
review.
he did submit her application already.
Okay. Is that the only one you wanted to do?
Yes, sir, that's it.
You have any? Miss Nancy, you have any?
Not like till she gets off the public safety.
Who is she?
Jim Law.
Okay, did you have any?
I'm good.
Okay, I am going to appoint Mr. Felix Brown to the Building and Standards Committee. I think we're gonna need a second for both of those.
Yes, he will.
If there are no further announcements, if there are no further nominations, we will entertain a second to both of those. There's a second.
Second.
Very good. Let's vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you, council. Item 8.4, ex officio positions, determining ex officio positions for boards, commissions, and committees. This is brought to us by our entire city council. Here is the issue / opportunity. We have discovered that the way that we passed the ordinance in times past did not allow for any flexibility. New council members come onto this council with different skill sets, different experiences, and different desires and passions. And so what we endeavor to do tonight, council, with the help of our clerk and our attorney, is to make this more flexible so that after every general election, every official, normal scheduled election, the council would not only elect a mayor pro tem, but also reestablish council liaisons to the different boards. Am I right so far?
Yes, that's correct.
I will further say that there are how many boards, Ms. Nance?
14?
There are 14 boards. And so we have only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have only assigned ourselves to 5 of them. And I would suggest that each council person be the liaison to 2 boards so that we can have more coverage, if at all possible. That is something that is new out of my mouth. And so if there is any objection to that, let that objection be known now, but I think the idea is that we are flexible. For example, if I might use my friend from District D and my friend from District B, Mr. Compion was once on the Keep Lamarck Beautiful Commission, where he has done great work. And Ms. Griffin came to us from the Parks Board. And yet, this is the Parks Board ex officio member, and Ms. Griffin is the Keep Lamarck Beautiful ex officio member from this council. And common sense would say that they should switch, but the ordinance restricts us from doing so. And so again, let's increase the boards that we are the not ex officio anymore, but the liaison to. And let's make it flexible so that after every scheduled council election, we would then go back and try to match skill sets with actual council members. Does that make sense, everyone? Very good. What else do we need to do with that, Ms. Nance? Did you get everything you needed?
Yes, so ultimately it was, we wanted to present you all with what currently lies. You've expressed the idea to change how the appointments are made. So we'll just need to bring the ordinance back for amendment at a future meeting.
Do you need a motion and you need some direction on that? Or did you just get it?
I
Gus?
think I just.
I think we got it. Yeah.
You got it?
Yeah.
right.
We're gonna do it. So
You can make a motion if you want
So-
to. I'm just having fun. All right, if you got that, we'll move right past that. It's 7:09. Let's keep moving, council. Unified Town Hall. That would be item 8.5. Unified Town Hall, considering a request to host a unified town hall for all districts and establish a date. This is brought to us by member District D and District C is seconded. Ms. Griffin, you have the floor.
Yes, we thought that instead of doing individual town halls, that it would be more beneficial to the residents. If the council members had one, all together, I felt like, we would have a better turnout and we would reach more residents with, providing information about what's going on in our districts. And we can get, answers, to our questions done at the same time. And so I would like to, Councilwoman Yancey's recommended September for us to do that, or October. So I wanted to find out what the other council members thought about those two, any one of those months, and we can move to have it scheduled.
When is TML?
The last week in October.
Okay, so as long as you stay away from that.
Oh, sorry, I was right.
Yeah.
One of the first week in October.
I think it's at the end of October this year. It's October 29th through the 31st.
That's him,
Okay.
you know. I'm saying for the.
So what date did you have in mind, Ms. Tanya? Getting that trusty calendar.
Get mine out.
out.
Anytime during the 6th through the 10th of October.
Does anyone have any, what is the 6th of Monday? Ms. Tanya?
Monday.
So
The 10th
let's,
is a Friday.
Ms. Nance, what do you suggest, Ms. Holly, in y'all's experience, for a unified town hall? Is that a evening affair,
Yes, sir, so that you can get the majority of people who
Yes.
are working.
better than a Saturday
attend.
affair?
Yeah.
Well, and if anybody wants to do a Saturday, that can also be a really good time.
Do you have any,
I have an exemption on the 10th. I'll be out of town.
okay, the 10th,
And the 11th won't work for me.
what is the 11th?
That's the
Saturday.
And the
Saturday.
10th is a Friday?
Friday.
Yes.
What about the 9th, that Thursday? That
Um,
Thursday night?
Were you looking to do it here,
Unless you do it the first weekend, you have a first weekend in October, don't you?
The 4th.
here, or were y'all looking at another location?
We need a larger space.
Okay.
Miss Karen,
We,
October 4th is a
October
Saturday.
4th.
October
Is it
4th.
Tuesday?
No,
Okay.
Chief, Chief, when is National Night Out?
When is National Night Out?
Okay.
October 1st.
Okay.
So October 4th or the 9th is what we're looking at. All right, let's go
Yes.
around this way. Mr. Lowry, do you have, I'm sorry, did you want to interject something, Chief?
Okay, Tuesday.
What is that?
7th.
The first Tuesday is
The
7th.
first
The
Tuesday is
7th?
the 7th.
Okay, so the 4th and the 9th is still good, right?
That's the Saturday and a Thursday.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's a Saturday and a Thursday. Mr. Lowry, do you have a preference? Yeah, you good for either?
Yeah, I'll make it work. My boss is pretty lenient.
Okay. You act like you know his boss. You don't know his boss. You don't know his. I'm teasing. Preference, no preference? Miss Yancey, preference?
October, Saturday.
The Saturday, Miss Griffin?
That's it, October 4th.
All right, I need a motion from you ladies.
So move.
I'm sorry, Joe.
Mayor, could I also
Yeah.
request in the motion to make these most effective in a unified town hall, that we engage the services of a experienced facilitator, so that no one can accuse us of overtaking or hijacking the
Yeah, that's
meeting, and
That's a good deal.
God knows Vanessa McAfee might say, "Shut up, Joe Compion," and stuff like that. So a professional facilitator might be.
Joe, she didn't tell you to
But-
shut up when she was, anyway, don't worry. I accept that. Let's, October 4th, I heard a motion. Let's put this in a
so-
motion. Let's put this in a motion that it will be a facilitator as
Mhm.
well. And we normally do these things at our West Side Fire Station because it is open, there is room. Is there any objection to doing it at our West Side Fire Station?
It's not hot there at that time.
Not hot there at that time. So the motion is October 4th. What time this time?
So they're early.
Early?
9:30.
9:30, Miss Yancey.
That's too early.
Yes. Yes. Are we doing it at, we can do it at 11, we can do it at 2
11.
in the 11 in the morning. October 4th is the motion we need at 11 a.m.
With a
with a
facilitator.
facilitator at fire station number 1.
That's it.
That's the motion. Is that the second?
I second that motion.
Did you have something to add, Ms. Yancey?
Well, I can point of discussion.
Okay. There's a motion on the floor. There's a second. Ms. Yancey, discussion.
Chief
Go.
is raising his hand
Which chief?
and he's coming up.
Oh, he's coming up.
He's bringing the fire.
You are on fire today,
I
aren't you?
am.
The other day it was Joe Compion.
I would just like to point out that the later in the day you wait, even in October, is still pretty warm. That bay is very hard to get cool enough.
Are
So
we going to the bay?
that
Oh,
is
no.
the only place that there's enough room to have that kind of people.
You think it'll be
11
hot at
o'clock?
11?
Mhm.
It's gonna start getting warm. I mean, just keep that in mind. I mean,
Yeah.
we'll keep the bay doors down and the AC going as best we can, but that's a big building to condition the air in. And every time the bay doors open, we lose AC. So the later in the day we go, the warmer it may be.
We can also do it at El Lugar. We can do it at, you're right, we can do it at one of our churches. We have a large one on the west
Not
side.
opposed to the city using the bay. We've done it many times. October's still kind of warm.
Yeah,
October's still kind of warm, so.
very good.
Yeah.
We thank you for that. We'll take that into consideration.
Think of-
Ms. Yancey, what were you saying?
To encourage people to come, if we could get some of our community partners to come and have set up tables and make sure all of our schools are aware of the town hall meetings. We have about 5 districts in our school to make sure that we get and all our partners that we have MOUs with, if they would know about the,
Okay.
because when you do a town hall, at least when I do my town hall, you always want to connect the community with resources.
Okay.
That, and they come out and they give out free stuff and it helps to bring more people out too.
Okay.
Yeah. We can do that. And that's why that bay would work, because we've done it before.
Yeah, it's been successful. I just think we have to start at about 11 because you give people a chance to wake up and to take care of whatever personal business they would have in the morning from 11 to 12:30.
I'm gonna need a lot of cotton.
About an hour and a half. It's just strictly a town hall. What we can do is we can open the doors at 10 if we have vendors. I thought I heard you say vendors. We can have a vendor piece that starts earlier, and the town hall can start at 11 and go to 12:30, 90 minutes of discussion with an hour to an hour and a half of vendor experience, before. Any objection to that?
No.
We heard Chief Merriman. Thank you, Chief Merriman. Does anyone want to change anything according to Chief Merriman, or do we want to proceed? I guess we're gonna be sweating, Chief. Any further discussion? Let's vote, guys. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Thank you, council. Item 9, new business, items presented to council for discussion, possible action. 9.1, ordinance number letter O-2025-0015, calling a bond election to be held November 4th, 2025 within the city, making provisions for the conduct of the election and other provisions relating thereto. City clerk, ma'am, this is, I believe, here it is. The proposed proposition generally relates to the construction of a new police station. A draft of the election order reflecting the proposed amount and scope of the proposition is available for review. And it gives the link, or upon request to the city clerk, the final amounts and the scope of any propositions to be presented to the voters is within the discretion of the city council. Before we entertain a motion, let's discuss, council. There's been a lot said about this. A lot of valid points have been made about this. I think we made a promise to put this before our voters as soon as we possibly can. And that's what this is about. Does not mean that we have to move forward if we are not ready, council. And so there is no need for passion and intensity and anger and frustration. This is simply us doing what we said we would do, and we can discuss, and perhaps there might be a different course that will come out of this discussion. Council is open to that. I'll ask Ms. Nance a question later. Who wants to start off with this discussion?
I have a question.
You have a question, Ms.
If we don't put this on the agenda, I guess my question is we have to approve this on this agenda in order for it to make it on the November thing, or can we wait until after they get the information that we've requested to review it and then maybe put it on the next council agenda to go on the bond? I mean, I don't know.
So
I think
the deadline is August the 18th to pass this.
Okay.
So
today is August the 11th, correct?
the 11th, and we would need to post it 72, the meeting would need to be posted 72 hours in advance. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
And so,
yeah. And so 24.
Yeah. Again,
In essence, unless we're going to meet next Monday, can we meet after 5?
I think technically you could go until midnight on the 18th, but
We would need to meet before 5 p.m. on that Monday to do it. So
again, this is, I know we got, a lot of us got frustrated and upset about this. But I believe the council had it in our mind, council previous to this council, way back when, to attempt to put this on a November ballot. Because out of the dire need for a police station in our community. But again, that does not mean that it has to go on a November ballot. I think that we all need to do what Aaron Rodgers said a while back. Relax.
yeah.
Just relax. This is a discussion. There are 5 members, and we are more than capable of understanding the gaps and the work that is still left to be done. And we're more than capable of making the correct decision. Mr. Lowry, I believe you had your hand up.
Yeah, I believe the discussion we were having was,
I happen to agree with Mr. Mitchell. If we put this on the ballot, it's gonna fail. And it would be a disservice to our first responders as they wouldn't have it on a ballot again for several years. With the budget fiasco, I think that, we need to pause, move to, the May ballot, focus on that. And also look at CO bonds that haven't been utilized yet. We have approximately $3 million sitting in that. I also will say that it is imperative that we act fast. I received an email, and if everything in that email is accurate, it's not even lawful for them to occupy the building as it stands right now. So I don't know if our fire department or code enforcement or anybody's inspected the building. I forwarded it to the city manager and I forwarded it to Gus. But there needs to be, it needs to be looked into, because if what's stated in that email is accurate, then I don't believe it's even lawful for them to occupy the building in the condition that it's in. So I would request that our city manager, city attorney, look into the legalities of it, whether it's our code enforcement, outside code enforcement, somebody inspect that building and then take action swiftly.
I do have a
Were
question.
you, hold on just a minute.
Okay.
miss. Were you done, Mr.
Yes,
Long?
sir.
Mr.
I'm assuming from what Mr. Misty said and what you're saying now, that what's gonna happen in November is that the tax rate is going to change? Cause that's what I'm hearing. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
And I need clarification on that.
Yeah.
So if we put this on the ballot in November, is the tax rate changing from the 39 cents?
No, it would,
No.
like.
So what would the voters have an issue with and I'm trying to understand, what would the voters have an issue with if the tax rate is not changing? I'm missing something.
Well, I would say there's quite a few things in it. If we want to, if we want to get into it, I think a forensic audit is going to be a major part and play a major role in a department. We've been breached. We've had money stolen from the city through we don't know. Like, it's under investigation. So there's various things that have happened. We don't have our audit. The audit's not complete. There's so
hold
many
on.
things.
Confused. Hold on.
Yeah.
My question was about in November, if we put this on the ballot, is the tax rate going to change from 39 cents? That was my question.
No, because we would vote on that prior to the November ballot.
Okay. I'm done. Thank you.
Ms. Yancey.
So we have talked about this. We have heard, I'm not sure what Mr. Mitchell was talking about, but the motion that I made, Mayor, to this council was for the 17 million. And that was the no new tax. That was the motion that was put
That's
on
what
the
I heard.
floor. So I'm not sure what he was talking about. So if someone can bring some clarity, our bond counsel, if we can get somebody on the phone, doesn't matter to me, so that we can be sure about it. And to Mr. Lowry's point, it is, I think it's important that we make this move for our public safety personnel in November. I'm sorry, is my mic on? Hello? Testing, 1, 2,
It's working.
3,
Yeah, there
testing,
it is.
okay. So I think it's important, council, that we move on this. We've had the public safety committee, and if anyone from that committee that's still here, I know there were some people that were here, but I think it's important because it doesn't matter if the tax rate is not going to change in November or if we do it in May. And I think to his point about when we decided for the school bond, when it came to Giles Middle School, we did not know where the Lamarck Middle School was going to be, but the voters were asked to vote on that bond because we know we needed a new school. So I know there may be, I mean, to me, I know our police need it. Rather, I prefer it to be on the West Lawn side, but for me, I think it's important that we get this done. Have we approved bonds previously, not knowing where the building was going to be? Absolutely. We did that, like I said, for Giles. But I think to kick this down the road, again, it's just a slap in the face to our police officers. Done.
Yeah. Anyone else? Mayor Pro Tem.
I mentioned it last time I asked whether this could be an item that could be carried over to May. And Gus at that time responded that, yes, there's been no changes. This is something that can occur in May. And I'm going to urge us to do that, to bring this to our voters in May for the following reasons. Number one, the location has not been worked out. That's a negotiation that's going on with, but we have no final location at this point. We're still waiting for some feedback from the what were they? The architects that were Mr. Lung, that on reaching out to some other modular companies that had constructed police departments. And he was taking the plans and talking to them. And it's my preference that we have a very professional looking, both a presentation, pamphlets, information, question and answers. We can't take sides on this. It has to all be factual.
Right.
And let's also remember, we individually can have a position on it, but as a city, as a council together, we can't take sides on it other than provide facts.
Right.
And so that becomes important to make sure that we have material that is both factual, that's accurate, that honors the history of Lamarck in terms of our respect for public safety and our police officers. And that's why I think procedurally, Gus, I don't know. By the way, I also agree with Ms. Councilperson Yancey, is that the motion was for 17 million because I seconded. And so I don't know where this 17.5 is coming from. And there, okay, but our motion was 17 million. So that's why I urge us to defer this if we're going to proceed to a May referendum. That gives, no one's under the gun then, and we have plenty of time to work out other issues associated with this. That's just my.
The 17.5 came from the idea, Joe, that if we held the tax rate at 39 cents, remember you were saying it's good news to my ears.
Yeah.
That we would hold, it would generate 17.5 million. That does not mean that that's how much the police station should or should not cost, but that was just the amount. And so that's where the half came from.
And to be clear, it was holding with no tax rate increase.
Yeah.
That's the other thing, folks, no tax rate.
And we have to get away from that this portion. I'm not gonna mess with you today, Mr. Lauder, but that was a little bit of somebody said, oh, stop. That was a little bit of disinformation about raising a tax rate. We never discussed raising a tax rate. We discussed holding a tax rate at 39 cents. And Mayor Pro Tem says that's music to my ears because he felt like that would be most beneficial to us as a community. Let me ask this. Do we, Ms. Nance, have a recommendation from the committee? Because Mr. Mistich is only one member of that committee.
Not at this time, no.
Okay, so what I would like to see is a recommendation from the committee. We need that, definitely need that. And they have time to meet. We have a 72-hour, the law says we can meet once a meeting is posted 72 hours in advance, that committee can meet. And I think we should hear from every member of that committee and not one. Let me, you just gonna interrupt what I'm saying?
Sorry. I said, well, you said something that made me want to say something.
So you just gonna jump in on my comment?
I'll wait. I'm sorry.
You might say it.
It is true the location has not been worked out, and in fact, one of those pieces of property have not been secured by our municipality. It is true that Alec Lung has been given orders by this council to come back with a smaller, more affordable police station. All those things are true. Here's where we run into problems. The intensity and the bullying has to stop. It is not conducive for a discussion, and I'm talking about a police station right now. All of the pants on fire, we're all going to hell, and the world is going to end just because people want things their way. That's not government. That is not a community. That is not democracy. And if we are going to move forward as a council, we have to stop that. We can discuss, like we all are discussing right now, we can discuss the validity of each side with respect for the other side and an understanding that the ultimate goal is what? Is to put our police officers in a position to be successful. Full stop. That's what it is. At the end of the day, we're all going to leave here, and you know what's going to still be true? That the police station is still, to Mr. Lowry's point, possibly uninhabitable. I have been saying that for years, that it is a safety hazard. We've had a committee to meet for months. And while they were meeting, it was still a safety hazard. Sometimes they were having meetings in the building, in that unsafe building. This is nothing new. At the end of the day, all of these things that surround this idea of a police station, these reasons that we have been given or that we are giving to have or to not have a police station is based on a bunch of stuff that has nothing to do with the idea that our police officers right now today are operating in a police station that is uninhabitable. So if we can stop playing politics around a police station based on some of the other agendas that we have, we may or may not have, then we might be able to get a police station passed by the voters. That's the way it needs to go. Now, here's the deal. Thank you for co-signing on me, but you want a high five in front of everybody? High five. There you go. All right. Now, here's what I would need, and we still got time. Because I think that if I had to vote on this tonight, I think that Mayor Pro Tem brings up some valid points. I think that my buddy, Mr. Loftus, brings up a valid point about whether or not we're going to be able to secure a site. But we have a week to see how far we can get. We have a budget workshop next Monday. I thought I heard Gus and our bond counsel say that we can vote up until midnight next week. Did you say that?
No, we
No,
didn't say-
no. We're voting at 11:30 p.m. Are you going to be here? I'm teasing, but no, we have a whole week. And here's what I would like to see for this council to consider. A recommendation from the committee. I think that we need to know a whole lot more on the 2 plots of land that we are considering. The people need information on those plots of land. And Alec needs to bring us back a design because we have none of the 3. And so I would be in favor of deferring this vote at least a week until we can see how far we get. Because if we don't have those pieces of information, that could possibly be detrimental to a positive outcome on our bond election. And so again, we ought to all relax. This is not something that we need to have a free-for-all about. We can do this in a very productive and respectful way. So I would entertain, I'm sorry, there you go, Ms. Yancey, go ahead.
So, someone, I guess, can you give me, for next week, the percentage of bonds that passed in November versus May? Just in Texas, what?
I
if you
can
give
get
me
that
some-
for you.
Yeah, see what, the difference of, that, because I think, Mayor, to your point, we all know we need one. I'm just concerned because of the economy as well, that if our voters don't have a stomach for it in November, things will be much tighter next year. And I'm just afraid that, we all have to be on one accord,
Mhm.
whether it's in November or in May. Because everyone is telling us that the economy will be tighter next year. And I'm just concerned that it won't pass in May either.
That's a fair point. Fair point. Ms. Holly, I thought I saw you lean in about a minute and 45 seconds ago. Did you want to say something or were you just leaning over?
I'm just paying attention, sir.
So council, that would be my recommendation. We need to get more information tonight. I think if we had to vote tonight, it would not be good to vote on something and we don't even have a recommendation from the committee.
Yeah.
We don't have a design tonight. And we don't have any new information on both of our sites. Both of them have challenges. And so I will definitely go ahead, Joe.
First, one is a question of clarity. I heard, you said midnight, but I heard 5
5 p.m.
PM earlier. What's the time frame?
5 p.m.
Okay, so we have to
So
take
not
action
midnight.
before 5 PM on Monday.
There is risk if we wait.
But wait till Monday?
Wait till midnight.
Oh, okay, I see what you mean. Wait till, but before 5 PM, we're okay.
Yeah.
All right. So that's number one. And number two, then, what you're suggesting is that we table for a week, or do we just go ahead and reset this for Monday?
I think we can reset this for Monday, Ms. Nance. Let's, that would be my advice, Joe, because it's a fair point. We don't have all the information. We do want to move, to Mr. Lara's point, as quickly as possible, on this. I agree with him on that. And I agree with Ms. Griffin and Ms. Yancey on that point as well. So we want to give as much opportunity for November as we can. If we still feel uncomfortable, if the community still feels uncomfortable, a good cross-section of the community, not just
Right.
one person, a good cross-section of the community, or two people. I believe Mr. Loftus expressed some discomfort. We need to hear from more voices through our council to see where we are. But I would give it at least a week to see how far we can get before, because the police department, the officers deserve it. Right? They deserve so much more, but they at least deserve for us to give it one last opportunity to get what we need to make a good decision.
Do you need a motion along those lines or not?
Ms. Nance, do we need a motion?
To reset it.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, so I move that we reset this item for a Monday meeting that action has to be taken before 5 PM
Is there a second?
on the Monday.
Second.
Any further?
I do. I have something to say.
Yes, ma'am, go ahead.
So the other reason that I just remembered, Joan, you remember this, our last bond at Cosmo Mainland passed by 1, 2, 3, 4 votes. And so this definitely has to be something that we're all on one accord with, because the voters have pretty much told us they don't have much more stomach. Because that last combo bond passed by 1, 2, 3, 4 votes. So just remember that. We want to kick it down the road.
Yes, ma'am. Any further discussion? Hearing none, let's call for the vote. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Item 9.2, ordinance number letter O dash 2025-0016, amending the zoning classifications for attractive land out of the SF Austin League number 4, abstract number 2, 0.756 acres of land being a portion of lot 55 of Mainland Homesteads, a subdivision in Galveston County, Texas, according to the map or plat thereof, recorded in plat record 2, map number 30 of the Galveston County map records, and also being known as lots 31 and 32 of the Gilbert and Nelson unrecorded subdivision. Galveston County Property ID number 132658 and 132659, located approximately at the northwest corner of Fleming and Partridge, Marque, Texas, from R1 Single Family Residential to I2 Industrial Development Services. This is the first reading. Yeah, in Invent. Do you want to come forward to make any comments, or are you just gonna hang out in the back? Doesn't matter to us. You're fine? Any questions for Invent? We heard it last year. We didn't hear it last year. We heard it last meeting. There it is. I was gonna say last week, which would have also been wrong. Any questions for Invent?
I move for approval.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Show it passed 3-0. Two of our council members have excused themselves. Did you want to vote on this, Mr. Lowry? What's your vote? 9-2. Aye.
Actually, I'm gonna abstain from this, sorry.
You gonna abstain from it?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Compion told you now, an abstention is a no. You still good?
Good.
All right, let's move forward. 9-3, ordinance number letter O-2025-0017, amending the zoning classification for a tract of land out of the SF Austin League, number 4. Abstract number 2, 1.889 acres of land being portion of lot 56 of Mainland Homesteads and subdivision of Galveston County, Texas, according to the map or plat thereof recorded in plat record 2, map number 30 of Galveston County map records, also being known as lots 49, 50, 53, 54, and 55 of the Gilbert and Nelson unrecorded subdivision, Galveston County property ID number 132673, from C1 General Commercial to I2 Industrial Developmental Services. This is the first reading.
Move to approve.
Move to approve. There a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll call for the vote. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? 9-4, resolution number letter R-2025-0034, approving assignment of private activity bond authority to the Texas Department of Housing and Community Affairs and containing the other provisions relating to the subject. Administration, Ms. Holly, are you prepared to speak to this, or do you have a designee?
Neither.
Ms. Nance, do you know anything about this?
I believe this was sent to us by the Southeast Texas Housing Authority. I do not have much information regarding it, just that they asked us to present it to the council. Sorry, one second. What they're looking to do is facilitate a single family mortgage origination program. Do I know what those words mean? Not
I do. I
necessarily.
know what that is.
Okay.
So what that would be doing is they would be coming in and allowing people who are typically police officers, nurses, what they would call frontline employees, to get mortgages through the Texas Department of Housing and Community Affairs.
Okay,
It's a way to promote single family ownership.
there we go.
Good
See?
deal. What started out clueless turned out to be a good thing. I'll entertain a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll call for a vote. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? 9-5, contract special election. We are going to entertain a motion to move this item to the Monday meeting after the item of the general bond obligation.
Sure.
Just to let the council know, this would be ratifying the contract. We had a deadline to be able to get on it before additional fees were assessed. So typically what'll happen is you would have called it, if it was a general election, we would have already known. So that would have been done already. Because of this one, I went ahead and signed it, and this is to ratify that, but we have up until August 25th to cancel.
Okay.
So
But we can still
yeah,
take this up.
for no, with no charge, so it's fine.
Okay. I will entertain a motion to defer this to Monday, August 18th, after the general obligation discussion and vote.
So
Is
moved.
there a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll call for a vote. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Item 9.6, easement, authorizing the interim city managers to sign a short form blanket easement 3 phased overhead and underground easement agreement, relocating CenterPoint's overhead and underground easement adjacent to the city of Lamarck, Texas, wastewater treatment plant located at Mahan Park. Mr. Knable.
My only concern with this is I won't sign blanket easements because they blanket the property and preclude vertical development. But if we work with this is CenterPoint, they'll actually tell you where it is, and we can get a distance on either side of it, and then we can sign it.
Okay. What needs to happen, Gus? Hey, what's up, bud?
So we're the engineers that are working on that project. So we came to an agreement to do a blanket easement. We were meeting on site all last week and even Friday. So we went out there to Marque to speed up the process. And by the time we get the surveyors out there and get everything corrected on the easement, we went ahead and did a blanket easement. But it's gonna be more or less where we were gonna relocate it. We just moved them over maybe about 40 feet, some of the poles, to make sure we're out of the way of the cranes and the drillers when they're in the way.
If we can just say in the easement document that wherever the lines are, whatever the width is away from that on either side, rather than having to survey it.
It's 30 feet. It's a 30-foot easement.
Okay.
We're about 50 feet away from our project, the end of our project.
Right, so we just need to list it like that rather than a blanket easement,
Well,
which
so
covers
what
the
they're
entire
gonna do is
property.
Once everything's signed and passed, once they erect it, they're gonna bring the everything out. I mean, they're gonna bring out their surveyors and redo the easement into a proper.
Okay,
30-foot
so we're doing
easement.
a temporary blanket easement.
Yes,
I
correct.
can do that.
Okay. Yeah, that's why I wanted to explain this.
Okay,
Did you want to add the word temporary?
yes, sir.
CenterPoint's approved this. They're ready to go on the 16th. If they don't approve temporary, I'm just telling you all, CenterPoint has not approved temporary, so.
Okay, yes, so it has to be as a blanket easement, but we will come back and correct it for the 30-foot easement.
But
But the blanket easement is so we could work within the parameters to get it where we really need it.
no, I get you, but Ms. Holly doesn't sign blanket easement, so we're gonna try to see what we can do. Go ahead, Joe.
Well, Ms. Holly, this is in District B over at Mahan.
Yes.
And we promised we get that working. No delays on the sewer treatment plant and the expansions. So
If you trust them, Mayor Pro Tem, I will go with
would
it.
suggest we go ahead and
Okay.
approve this.
I was just gonna come up and say that it does affect our timeline on the wastewater treatment expansion. We already have a very, very, very tight timeline. That's exactly what Mayor Pro Tem said. So that's what.
We have CenterPoint scheduled for the 16th and they will be finished within 2 weekends. So
No, we get it, but and I want to make sure Ms. Holly is comfortable with this. We didn't bring her all the way down here to twist her arm to do things that she doesn't feel comfortable with.
Just so you know, in the future, a blanket easement covers the entire property and keeps the landowner from doing anything vertical. So if they're committing that they're going to come back in and fix it, and we have people who are comfortable with it, then my arm can be you can twist.
So this blanket easement doesn't cover the entire property. It gives us enough room to work with it from the end of the
Project.
from the end of where they're at right now to another 50 feet, but then we're gonna reduce it.
Okay.
To 30 feet.
Is that outlined in a document somewhere?
Yes.
So it's not a complete blanket.
No,
No.
it's the east, it's the bottom of the first page, the east 102.4 feet of lot 4 of all of lot 3, and then blah, 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 blah. Which I assume is the language they took from
Yes.
your survey.
There, yes.
And then there's an attached map, Exhibit A.
Yes. So
This-
what
Mayor Bill,
we marked,
this-
our final markups that we did on Friday,
Ms. Holly, show Ms. Holly.
are within that blanket easement. Once we get it all said and done, we gotta make sure that there's no trees in the way. We're trying not to disturb the tennis court. We're not gonna disturb that. So that's what we've done. We're aligning everything. Once they're gonna go out there on the 16th, I will be here next Saturday to make sure that we're still following the same. We've already marked it.
Yeah.
With center point. So once we're complete, we'll come and change it again.
Yeah.
And do the 30-foot easement.
Gus, does it really say blah, 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 blah?
No, but I
Haven't got it.
I was
It's the
I was gonna
east
get tongue tied.
It's the east 102.4 feet of lot 4 and all of lot 3. So you cannot build on the east 102 feet or all of lot 3 until it's fenced. That's all. But as long as we trust them, we're good.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna move for approval.
All right, is that second?
Second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll call for a vote. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Thank you, all involved. Adura, Gus, and thank you, Ms. Holland.
Thank you.
Did you hear me, Ms. Holland?
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you.
You're welcome.
Thanks, sir. We.
What?
Not if he's saying blah, 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 blah. I'm teasing Gus. All right, we are now at
I'm just trying to get the
9-7. Approval of change order number 12. Citywide sanitary sewer rehabilitation project. Approving change order number 12 submitted by Southern Trenchless Solutions LLC for citywide sanitary sewer rehabilitation project under GLO contract number 22-083-003-D208. Public Works, Mr. Bro.
Yes, sir. This is just to approve Southern Trenchless to continue doing manhole work within the city. They recently completed areas 4, 9, 10, 11, and 12. There's money still left over, so now they're looking to do areas 7 and 8, which is from Bayou over to 45, kind of in District A and in District C, covering that area. There will be no change in contract costs. There's not going to be an increase. There won't be any. So it's just approval for them to continue to do work.
Any questions for Mr. Bro as it relates to item 9-7? Any questions? No. I'll entertain a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll call for the vote. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Thank you, Shannon. 9-8, Special Events Committee, clarifying active and alternate members and board functions. This comes to us from the chairman of the Special Events Committee. Come on up here, Mr. Loftus. We're gonna have a conversation with you and Ms. Nance. Okay. We had a meeting the other day.
Surprise.
We had a meeting the other day, first meeting. And one of the things that we were looking at is who's on the committee and who is an alternate. And so let's clarify that. Let's name, if you can, the members of the committee, not by name, but by position.
Oh, I was like, okay, let me pull up your ordinance here. I don't think you guys established alternates for that board.
Yeah, there were people that were there that, for example, we had 2 folks from the Keep Lamarck Beautiful Committee.
So what you all did was you nominated the chairperson or their designee. So there should be one person from each board represented there. So, but you guys did not actually establish any alternates for that board. I'm looking up who the exact people are. I believe it was a representative of the Economic Development Corporation, the Parks Board, Keep Lamarck Beautiful, the mayor pro tem, a representative of administration, a representative of communications, a representative of finance. Okay, those are the ones I know off the top of my head. I gotta find the others.
At large, 2 at large.
Yes, and then the 2 community members, I believe.
why did I thought we had definitely a representative from the police and the fire department as well. Since it would be a special event and we would need to make sure that we had emergency medical services and law enforcement.
Sorry, I wasn't prepared for this to speak on this item, so I'm trying to pull everything up. But just off the top of my head, I know that was in the original discussions, but then when we talked about the logistics of having everybody there, it was determined that you guys could always call on them to be there, but they didn't necessarily need to be a part of the who's and the what's. They needed to review at the end. But let me just verify all of that.
Are you just saying fire, police could be there as a resource
Correct.
at the call of the chairman of?
Right, because if they were on
they needed to be.
if they're on the board, they're police and personnel, you still gotta pay for them
Yeah,
to
that's
be
the
in the
thing.
room
Okay,
for the
Okay.
meetings.
Yeah, that's fine. If the committee can call them to be present to offer their participation, I don't have a problem with that.
We also, we need to meet as soon as possible. I mean, Ms. Nance already spoke to that earlier, trying to possibly get a meeting
Okay.
next week.
So we have EDC, 1 member, Parks Board, 1 member, People of Mount Beautiful, 1 member, the mayor pro tem, administration, 1 member, communications, 1 member, finance, 1 member, and 2 at-large members. That gives us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 members. Anyone else? I think the problem came in, I think we had 2 members from KLMBC. And so now there is 1.
Yes, Ms. Gonzalez.
Well,
No,
you're the
for
chairman.
you.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you were elected chairman, so you're the 1 member from the KLMBC.
She was present.
She was present.
Yeah.
And it's fine for folks to be present. When we get down to the voting portion of this, I think that's where we need to make the distinction.
Yes.
It says or their designee. So you're her designee.
All right.
Right.
It had to be one or the other. And since you got elected, I'm assuming that would
That'd
make
be
it
you.
you.
Yeah,
And
that's what happened.
I think, Mr. Loftus, what has to happen is when we have to make some sort of a distinction between those that are there to support and those that are voting members. So if you get to a place where you start to entertain motions and votes, maybe part of the table is voting members and then the other side is interested parties. That way you can know and they can know who is and who is not allowed to vote. But everybody can participate in the discussion. You're the chair. You can recognize whomever you choose.
Yeah, okay, we got it.
Okay. Yes, there were 10, I just counted. There are 10 members on that board.
Okay.
So the ones we named are correct.
Very good. Did you get what I was saying?
Yeah, I understood fully.
What else did you had another question about board function, or did you get that question answered?
Well, I got the board functions. We just need to, set a date for the next meeting so we can kind of move forward.
Okay. Have you visited with Ms. Nance on that one? Because that's your committee.
Yeah.
And we myself, Mayor Pro Tem, and the rest of us moved by your leadership.
Yeah, I'm waiting on Ms. Nance.
We have a tentative date. It's just going to depend on what you all determine tomorrow for your additional budget workshop dates.
Okay.
But as of right now, there's a tentative date.
That's a tentative date.
Yeah.
If that changes, Ms. Nance will certainly get in touch with you.
Yep, appreciate it.
Did you need anything else from us, Ms. Nance, on this one? You got what you need? Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. 9.9, purchasing mobile command terminals, approving the purchase of 12 mobile command terminals, MCTs, using grant fiscal year 25 SB 224. This comes to us from the police department. Is that you, Chief Argon?
Mayor, council members, this is a grant. It's a Senate Bill 224 grant FY 25. It's the catalytic converter grant. It's, we're asking for 12 or to purchase 12 mobile command terminals, which in English is laptops, basically. It's for our vehicles. That's where we send our information over the air. It's an 80% match, 80% grant paid, 20% match. It's a good deal. And we've chosen SCW, which we bought MCTs from in the past. And they're very, very good MCTs. And we've done our due diligence regarding the buy board, et cetera. And that's our choice. I just want to let you know, we've got so many grants coming in. I'm telling you, I've got to have a board on my wall to keep up with all this. But we're getting stuff we've needed over the years, and it's really nice. We've been behind, as you know, Mayor. I mean, our handheld work, you know, they might as well be the string, you know, they're old. Everything's getting a lot better thanks to, I call her the magic grand goddess. Alice Ashley's really helping us out a lot. So.
Very good. Any questions for Chief? I see you, Mayor Pro Tem.
I do. What's the useful life on this, on these laptops?
Well, you know, they probably could last 15 years, but with technology, you know, every 3 to 5 years, you've got to buy a new one because one part change and they make you buy the whole thing. But it's probably at least 5-year assets.
I just have a request, Mr. City Manager. We're terrible about keeping inventory. I've asked for that for so long. Let's just make sure that we have an inventory list.
Right.
Has a useful life, so that in our planning, whoever is up here could realize that the department at 3 years down the road may have to replace these items.
Right.
And that's all I ask. Thanks.
And I know how the mayor is about matching and so forth. The 20%, it's a great deal. I mean, we've got to have some, we're only paying 8,900 out of 43K. So with that, any questions?
Any further questions? Okay.
Move to approve.
There's a move to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll call for a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you, Chief.
Thank you, Mayor.
10-9, excuse me, 10, item 10, City Manager's Report. Submitted report to update council and community on the standard operations of the city. This report can be acknowledged as a whole or discussed at the pleasure of council. As always, council, I will go down these 3 items. If you want to discuss one of these 3 further, just let us know. 10-1, June 2025 water loss report. Anyone? 10-2, June 2025 stormwater report. Anyone? 10-3, ordinance review committee. Anyone?
Me.
Ms. Griffin. You want to also?
Awesome.
Ordinance review committee, Mr. James Ross. Are you chairing this committee? Oh, you're not? Okay. Ray Medina? All right. Let's discuss Ms. Griffin first and Mayor Pro Tem second.
What's going on with it?
I was introduced by the Mayor Pro Tem at the last meeting, and that would be what I can tell you right now. Now, in my past, as an urban planner, I have drafted many ordinances. I do everything from all the development ordinances to traffic ordinances, so I have offered my help to them. And anything that I can do, I'm offering my ability to do that. Now, obviously, budget is first, and then we'll see what is in rank order after that.
That was all my questions. I just wanted to know what was going on with it.
Yeah, and I think it's great that, as we discussed, we just need some clarity as to the mission of the ordinance review. And you have the background for that, so I'll defer to your capable hands and come back.
So, Mr. Ross, we're going to recognize you as a former council member, and this is your, this is the ordinance that you led us to pass.
He's on the board.
We've had 2 meetings.
And you're on the board. Look at that.
Yeah.
The trifecta.
We had literally back-to-back meetings so that we could try to get into our monthly routine on doing it. And we are starting with zoning as our first bit. Because we look around, we had 2 zoning ordinance tonight. We want to look at the map. We want to try to figure out where things are going. And with Miss Holly over here, hopefully it's gonna be better. Mr. Compion made the suggestion that we try to get an urban planner to come in and help us with our stuff. That way in 2050, all of District D, upper portion District D is not light industrial. We actually can have some homes back there. And we're trying to eat it one bite at a time, but there are things that we don't understand. What is our industrial look like in the city of Lamar? Our light industrial, understand what some of those federal laws and stuff say, but I don't really have a lot of light industrial. You know, we're just trying to make sure we clean it up as we move forward, so that when we have businesses like Invent that want to come back into town, it's easier for them to get here. Or businesses that have been here for 50+ years that are no longer light industrial, how do we bring them into compliance instead of being legally non-compliant? That's what we're working on right now. That's where we're at.
Any questions for Mr. Ross as he represents this community tonight, committee tonight?
So, yes, I have.
Ms. Yancey,
Yes,
Ms. Yancey.
So the purpose of this committee is to look at the ordinances we have already, or is it to recommend some?
It's to look at all the ordinances that we have already. So I made the suggestion we start with zoning first because we've had a lot of these rezonings. And that is 90-something pages of ordinances.
Right.
So that's a lot. And then we want to go to some of our older ordinances
Right.
and then start from there, like the homestead that was last looked at, the mayor and I were one in 1973, not to give out an age, I think. But
So the reason why I asked that question was because what we had talked earlier about, in some areas, having duplexes in some parts of historic District A, or even looking at container homes, subdivision, or tiny home. And that's why I wanted to ask, is this the?
and that's
is this your
something
committee
that
to refer it to?
we discussed because I know ADUs are on Governor Abbott's agenda
Right.
again. He's very, very much for additional units on a property.
I'm impressed you speak ADU. That's really good.
I love the
Accessory
thought.
dwelling units.
Yeah, I love the thought of a mother-in-law's cottage because I'd like my child to take over the house and then kick me above the garage at some point. That would be great.
Very good.
So it's in
we
small
put in there.
container homes. I love, my daughter is a tiny home person. She thinks they're great, but there's a whole complex of them going in North Houston area that are like $135,000. And you look at this 2-story house and you're like, that's really, it's
Right.
that big.
Yeah.
I think to
So-
answer your question, Councilmember, it could be both.
Okay.
So as you look at your existing ordinances, there may be new ordinances
Mhm.
that flow out of that to address current concerns.
And there may, with the changes of everything, there may be a better practice that has been done elsewhere that we need to look at as we're looking at R1, R2, R3 and all that. I like some of the stuff that some Sugarland Town Square, Pearland Town Square, where you have commercial down below and residential above. You have
Right.
2 stories of condos.
Right.
I think that's a great idea. You know, it would look great on Highway 3 and down Main Street in some areas, but
Right.
it's how are we gonna get to that point?
Right. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, James. I'm sorry, Ms. Griffin.
This committee will address ordinances, for any needs of the city, right?
Yes.
Because we had some that we've been waiting for you guys to get started for parks.
Right.
Okay, and so my
it's-
next question is, how do we get those submitted to them? Do we have to go, is there a process we go through to get something submitted to them for their consideration?
Why don't
How
you
does
give
that
it-
happen?
Give it to me and I'll get it to them.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's something that
That
we've talked about also is I want to look into how do we set up a historical district? We have some historical homes here.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, those are things that I would really like to see happen in this area.
Very good, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Council, I'm getting ready to throw a monkey wrench in all of our plans before we get to you said what? Apparently, Mr. and Mrs. Brown, as of tonight, are both serving on the Building Standards Committee. Is that true?
Yes.
All right, let's do this. Council, I'm going to ask, I have two other appointments. Mr. Brown has been here every meeting. He has been following up on his application. He is eager to get appointed. Council, if you will allow me, I'm going to withdraw his appointment to the Building Standards. Let me take it back up officially, Gus, before you start rolling your eyes at me.
I'm not.
I know where you going. I already see where you going with this.
No, I'm not.
I'm going back to item 8.3 to try to make right something that we made a mistake by and give this man an opportunity to serve the city of Lamar. Without objection, I would like to rescind my nomination for him to be appointed to the Building Standards. And I would like to make a motion that he be appointed to the Events Committee. There is a second at-large position that was needed to be filled. And I want to do right by this person because every meeting, and we all have seen him, he's chomping at the bit to be a part of what we're doing here in Lamar. So is there a second to that? Let's vote so that we can move past this. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you, Ms. Nance. Thank you, Ms. Knable. Mr. Brown, there it is. Now you're legit and legal. Council, we're gonna move into executive session, but we can, if you'd like, do our request and congratulatory comments before we go back to executive session. Would you like to do that first? All right, we're going to do that first. Ms. Griffin, we'll start with you.
What are we doing? Is it time to go home?
Announcement, your announcements, your congratulations, and your request for next meeting.
Think I've had. I want to just address my District D. Let them know that, despite my emotional roller coaster, I, actually love getting out, and getting acquainted with District D, getting acquainted with the residents, learning about all the intricacies of District D. I have about 2 more things that I want to audit. I'm sure Public Works will be happy when I leave the field, but I have 2 more things I want to audit for our district. And I've already met with Public Works and Ms. Holly, and we've come up with some ideas to move things forward. And I can't wait to share that with you guys at the town hall. That's all I have.
Thank you, ma'am. Mr. Lowry?
Yeah, meet and greet with our interim city manager. I want to make sure that all of the citizens come and participate, or they don't get to say anything if they don't participate. So also thank you to all the citizens that are participating in the budget workshop. It means a lot to have people that have served come back and do that as well. Ditches in District C, it's another, I just want to keep bringing it up. In 27 years in some areas, and when it comes to roads, I'm pretty familiar with construction. I know who to call to get a patch in a roadway. I just want to clarify that. That's a pretty easy thing for me to figure out. And actually, when I talked to the city manager, it took her less than 24 hours to get it fixed, and it sat for almost over a year unfixed, so untouched. So just for clarification on that, and I really look forward to the meet and greet. I hope the citizens participate. If they don't participate, I don't want to hear anything. It is Wednesday, the 13th, 5:30 to 6:30 in the community room, or in the community room back here. So be there. Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Jansen?
And on that note, Commissioner Robin Armstrong will be having a meet and greet on the 14th. Believe it's 3:30, 4:30, but I'll get the time. That's what I was looking for in my notes. And I encourage everyone in Lamarck to discover who your commissioner is now that our boundaries have been changed. We actually have 3 commissioners that cover the city of Lamarck. So I encourage you to find out who that is. So we can all be advocates to try to make sure that the streets that we have put in the latest bond election will get done first, since we were last time. And I did meet with him on last Thursday and requested that our streets be done first since we were last. So it would help if we had some citizens to contact your county commissioner as well. Congratulations to Vera Belgary, who the old Lamarck Administration Building on Bayou Road is now named after. So she is alive and well now. She lives in a nursing home, a nursing facility, and she was ecstatic to see that Tech City ISD named that building after her on Bayou Road. So kudos to her. And just a reminder to all of our parents to say, and our grandparents that are raising grandchildren, any help that you can provide for them, and any prayer. I believe there is a National Day for Prayer for Schools. If I find that out, I'll let everyone know. I think it's important when those babies go to that flagpole and pray for covering over their schools. And I know that's what several churches in our community do. And I think it's important that we do that as well this year. That's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you, ma'am. Mayor Pro Tem?
I want to tag on the school. School has started. Shannon, there are a lot of speed limit signs around the high school that are on the ground because of either the construction or they were never repaired. There's also a stop sign that's out at the 4-way stop at Duro and McKinney Extension. And people are coming out of the construction side and they're not stopping. And so those are 2 areas that hope you're able to follow up on with your staff. And I want to thank everybody for their patience. Those of you that are watching, I also want to thank our interim city manager, Ms. Holly, for her patience with all of us. We are a challenging group. That's certainly, let's put it that way. And but you seem to bring out the best in all of us. And so please continue doing that in terms of guidance and on that side. So appreciate that. Thanks. And of course, I wanted to say my thanks to former Councilmember Osteen. He continues to be a mentor. He continues to be a finance watchdog for many of us, and especially during this budget season. So I can thank you, sir. That's all.
Okay, very good. Again, I think, let me highlight the meet and greet. I think that's important, Mr. Lowry, what you shared. August 13th is the community room, is that right? From 5:30 to 6:30?
I believe that's correct.
5
Yeah.
to 6:30.
5 to 6:30, I'm sorry. Again, it's good to just meet people and for people to meet you. And so that connections can be made and we can communicate on a personal level our support for our interim city manager as she attempts to move the city forward and unify this council. I think she needs to hear from each and every one of you. She's heard, I believe, from all of us. And she's out of tissue in her office because we cried her a river, all of us. And Miss Griffith cried the most.
I did.
And yet we are here. Let's also say August 18th next week, we will be discussing one final time before a vote the potential for a general obligation bond for a police building in November. I don't think that any of us have made up our minds up here. I think we know what we believe should happen, but I think that we need your help. We need the help of the community. We hope to get all of our information, and that's the request, a formal request. We need a recommendation from the committee. We need a design from Alec, right? And the third thing that I requested, if I'm not mistaken, we need to understand the needs of both of those locations. We have two locations and both of them have challenges. Let's get that for our community. And let's come to this meeting and let's discuss, ladies and gentlemen, this is a democracy and all of us have thoughts and ideas. It is unnecessary for us to impose our will on each other. We can discuss this with respect because everyone agrees on this fact. We need a new police station. We do. And so if that's true, then let's calmly, like this council did tonight, discuss the issues and see where those issues take us. But we need our community to come out that day to calmly express their views so that we can have a better understanding and sense of where the community is desiring for us to go. Aaron is in the Gulf. I'm sorry, I keep saying Aaron is not in the Gulf. Aaron, Tropical Storm Aaron, is in the Atlantic. And that is not a good sign. She is not expected to impact the Gulf. That's what I wanted to say. But Aaron, behind Aaron, there are two other disturbances that are leaving the African coast that meteorologists believe will be conducive for development. And we do not know the trajectory of those two. And so hurricane season is upon us in all of its splendor and glory. And so let's keep an eye on the Gulf, ladies and gentlemen, because these things can turn on a dime. I wanted to also share love and light to all of those wonderful young people that are embarking upon another school year. It's a wonderful thing to gather together in this social experiment that we call education. Love and light to all of our public schools, to our private schools, to our charter schools, and to our home schools, because education is the foundation of our future. And as we travel these roads back and forth, let's remember there are young people trying to go to and from school. There are mothers and fathers and grandparents and all sorts of other caregivers trying to navigate those same streets to get those children to and from school. Let us be extra cautious, especially at the beginning of the year when we are not accustomed to children running out in the street early in the morning, running out in the street in the early afternoon because it was summertime. And so let's make sure that we are being extra careful and extra cautious. I wanted to congratulate again and thank again Queen of Peace and Monsignor Anderson for allowing us to work in the Queen of Peace during our recent retreat. Wonderful man, wonderful human being, wonderful man of God, and we applaud his leadership of that congregation, and we look forward to more great things from that congregation in the near future. As far as an agenda item, Ms. Holly, I wanted to share with you and remind all of us that we are looking to bring to this council a finance committee, so that in a committee made up of some elected officials, some members of our community, as well as members of the finance team and administration, so that we can get organized, right? And be able to move forward financially in a confident way. And so as soon as we can get that back on our agenda, the better. If there's nothing further, let's move now to the Miss Holly, do you have anything for the good of the order?
The only advice that the only update I was going to give you now is what my plan is first to address the budget and get that hammered for y'all so that we've got something that is responsible to be voted on. And then as I look at the areas that seem like maybe there's a better process for it, I will identify those. And I know you don't have administrative oversight, but I'm still going to bring those to you and get your input, because I think it's important that we do this together, that to make sure that we're building the community that you want moving into the future.
Very good. Thank you, ma'am. If there's nothing further, Gus, I think we only have one agenda item in executive session because we have delayed the vote on the police general obligation bond. And that is item 11, executive session. The city council for the city of Marque, Texas reserves the right to adjourn into executive session at any time during this meeting to discuss any of the matters listed above, as authorized by the Texas Government Code, section 551.071, consultation with attorney, 551.072, deliberations about real property, 551.073, deliberations about gifts and donations, 551.074, personnel matters, 551.076, deliberations about security devices, and 551.087, economic development. Tonight, we are recessing into executive session on 11-1, section 551.071, consultation with attorney, the Marque Economic Development Corporation versus the Texas City Terminal Railway Company, cause number 20-CV-0633. We are recessing, Ms. Nance, at 8:27. We will reconvene shortly. Hello again. We are back from executive session. We are reconvening our regularly scheduled meeting at 8:46. And we are now at item 12, actions taken from executive session, 12:1. Section 551.071, consultation with attorney. Marque EDC versus Texas City Terminal Railroad Company, cause number 20CV-0633. I will entertain a motion.
Move. Oh,
Make a motion.
I'd like to move that we authorize the mayor to proceed with executing the settlement agreement with the Texas City Terminal Railway Company.
Very good. Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? I will say that the long night is apparently over. And that's all I got to say. Any further discussion? Here, now we'll call for a vote. All of Ms. Holly has her first read. Let's go, y'all. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Thank you, council. We are now at item 14, adjournment. I will entertain a motion to adjourn. Is there a second?
second.
Let's remember, council, we will be back tomorrow at 10 a.m. for budget workshop number 4. All in favor?